Hello, shipmates. Lucky man over here. And this time we are reviewing, well, Reborn Bismarck. Bismarck Zwei, so to say. Zwei, if I remember something about German, Zwei is translated into two. But it is really interesting that they chose number 2. Well, Sway at least. But it is understandable because there is Luffy 2, if you remember. There is also Lexington 2, excuse me. And was it Amagi, but as a carrier? But that is a Amagi Reborn, as well as an aircraft carrier. Now then, what is Bismarck Zwei's story? Well, Bismarck Zwei is based on a story from Azur Lane lore itself. If you remember, in Charger of Iron and Blood, she used black cube she got from the sirens. And I don't recall, did she activated it or did the sirens activated it in the Charger of Iron and Blood event? Because was it Tester said something like, or was it someone else, or was it Observer that mentioned that activate Awaken protocol? Whatever the case, Bismarck was corrupted by the Black Cube, but she survived by self-destructing her rigging. But while sinking, U-556 found her by the by secret or mysterious noises, pings, something like that in English. And after that, since, well, was Bismarck released again? Hold up. Bismarck Zwei. That was my phone. Confluence on Nothingness event. 2023. Start date, all servers, 25th of May 2023. Alongside U-556 Meta, Regensburg, Otto von Alvensleben, excuse me, and Jade. And with that, she went hell of a history just to get to this point. And I have to say, although her art design is huge, but it's majestic. Is it how it's pronounced? Majestic design. That's what I have to say. Majestic design. And fun fact, somewhere, was it a recent event? Bismarck told the commander that Garion, her rigging, is a side product, something like a meta, or like Bismarck Zwei is between meta and normal ship girl version. Well, closely to meta line. Meta ship girl line. And based on the story, Garion is eating or managing the meta powers that Bismarck was corrupted with. I'm trying to explain as best I can with the words I know. But there will be a history about Bismarck someday in the future. I'm having really good ideas about the Bismarck history in Azur and in real life. Well, everybody knows her history in real life, but what about Azur history? Whatever, let's focus on the game. Let's get this going. As usual, stats, then the main gun armament efficiency, and then skills. Starting with if you oath her and level up, and also with fleet technology, you can reach 9,963. That is close enough to be 10,000 HP. But if you have certificate of sponsorship, I have no idea, does this work to the Bismarck Zwei? But please let me know if somebody actually knows, does this affect the Bismarck Zwei at all? But if it does, then she can actually break the threshold of 10,000 HP with 150 HP, thanks to the certificate of sponsorship that actually provides. Now her firepower, I'm gonna be honest, there are some really good heavy hitters nowadays in Azur in 2026. But Bismarck is no joke. Nevertheless, she has 474 firepower. Her entire is Iron Blood standard, 294. But as for her original, just in base comparison, it's 212, and the Zwei version has 279. So there's a really nice increase on anti-air. Her luck, however, is 32. It hasn't changed at all. Her armor type is heavy. She can survive few hits, but some really dangerous AP critical hits can actually demolish that HP bar really brutally away. She gets speed, 30 knots, not bad. Her reload is 190. As for evasion, 29. And as for her accuracy is 80. That's a base. But if you have something like Admiralty Fire Control type pull, and augment module, it can actually increase something really nice levels. 73 points. Or if you want to go with the tech version, there is slight increase to her stats. Or if you want to go with the gear, you can actually choose which type you want to go with. But I will go with the gear. Now as for her armament efficiency, she gets 155% efficiency on the main guns. Not bad. Her original version was 130%, so that's a really nice increase. 130 on the original Bismarck. Her secondary gun armament was really nicely increased, 200%. Now she stands alongside with the other battleships with 200% and with turrets. But she gets 3 secondary guns. while her old version got only 2 secondary guns. So Bismarck Zwei is packing way more secondary guns. Now as for her entire gun, she only got 90% in her original version. But in Bismarck Zwei version, that's really good. 110%. It is useful at this point. She doesn't get Augment module yet, and I think it's gonna be really hard to get Augment module to Bismarck Zwei. But right now I have Officer's Sword. It gives her 20 hit points and 18 evasion points and first strike firepower. Every battle when this ship fires a main first volley, increase your main fleet's firepower by 20 for 10 seconds. This skill cannot stack with itself. But as you can see, I have Admiralty Fire Control Tablet and Certificate of Sponsorship. But I think I will change that when I have more information. Does it actually work on Bismarck Zwei or not? For this time I have prototype twin 410mm guns, because I have Mecklenburg. That's why I want to give Bismarck this gun, so that I can just swap between. If I want to combine Bismarck Zwei with the Mecklenburg and Fritz Rume or someone else. Anti-air gun is now for the research purposes 105mm SKC-33 AA naval gun mount with time fuse. It has some really nice damage, but how it behaves requires more research. With this armament, oh, and her secondary is twin 128mm. Dual purpose. Excuse me, just arrived from work. It actually increases AA by 15 points and firepower 30 points. If I really want, I could give her classic prototype twin 150mm gun, or the not good one, but still somewhat decent. Either prototype twin 150 TPTSK C42T main gun for the destroyers, who can actually carry 150mm guns, or where's the this funny bloke twin 150 SKC 28 secondary gun. Punished only by the which one do you want? Of course, there are better choices after all. But this is how I want to build my Bismarck Zwei. Oh, I almost forgot the skills. How dare me. First is Calamitous Void Flame. Increase this ship's firepower by 10% and reload by 15%. When this ship fires her main guns, the first volley of the salvo is guaranteed by critical hit, and second, fires of the special barrage damage between a skill level that creates zone on the battlefield that enemies are drawn to. That's a black hole effect! Next up is support skill, Gerion the Ruin Eater. During battle, the autonomous rigging Geryon will switch between two modes to provide support. The support mode tackles each time Bismarck Zwei fires the main guns. 1. Synchron link reduces damage received by Bismarck Zwei by 20% and increases the power of the next Calamitous Void Flame special barrage. Geryon starts battle in Synchron link mode. So right off the bat, a really good one. Second one, Synchron release. Geryon will separate from Bismarck Zwei, move to a different location, and begin attacking with special weapons. Geryon's stats are based on the skills level as well as Bismarck Zwei's stats. Is that something like a copy? A copy of the Bismarck Zwei? After Geryon completes deployment as a result of the skill, it will perform another special attack level 10. That was something of the laser beam, if I recall. Now, Reborn Temple of Iron. Increases the firepower, torpedo and AA of Iron Plus ships in the same fleet as this ship by 15%. When a fleet this ship's not in starts a battle, and while this ship is still afloat, fires level 10 spell supporting barrage 18 seconds after the battle starts. Damage is based on skill level. If the flagship of that fleet is an Ironblood ship, also increases the aviation of that fleet's Ironblood carriers and light carriers by 15%. Now she is really interesting. She also gives aviation stats to the other fleet, and also increasing her own fleet stats by a really good degree. In this lineup, I'm gonna use Bismarck and Zwei, Tirpitz, Aegir, Leipzig, and Regensburg. As for the other fleet, we have Fritz Rume, Elbe, Graf Zeppelin, Rhun, Duisburg, and Nuremberg. Now, with this out of the way, I'm gonna give my final opinions. And I almost forgot her skins. This force she has only 2. Both of them are animated. Crystal Clear Holiday, really nice swimsuit, and the other one is on a bathtub. Path in Brightness and Spirit. Now, really fascinating indeed. I really like both of them. But now with this all out of the way, let's go with the final thoughts about Bismarck Zwei. Hello, Lucky Mia's voice over here, and now Bismarck Zwei, Ironblood Reborn, Flagship, and Navy's. I lost my words. I lost my thoughts. Excuse me. I've been awake too long. I had work today. Just arrived from work. Thoughts. Bismarck Zwei, Reborn Ironblood Flagship. Now, I have to say, she is very well upgraded. She can actually fit with the Mob fleet, also Boss fleet, and it all depends what type of fleet you have with your Ironblood members, and what the other fleet also contains. Now, I have to be honest, although it is sad that Tirpitz doesn't get much benefit from it. Excuse me. I guess the Reborn Temple of Iron increases the firepower, torpedo and AA of Iron Claw ships in the same fleet as this ship by 15%. I say that's a really good call. Now, if you combine with the the original Bismarck with the Bismarck Zwei and Tirpitz, it also increases the firepower and torpedo 50%, and with the Bismarck's Will of the Iron Blood, increases Tirpitz damage by 40%, which is really nice, even on the exercises. But it all depends. Well, Vanguard is the main problem in the PvP, and that's exercises. Now then, because of the torpedo meta over there, Bismarck Zwei. As much I want to take her to the map 14 and 15, but because so much personal experience over there, I decided to never go back there if must. And now that I have the new ship girls I have from there, so I don't have to take those maps anymore. I can just grind map 13. Well, map 16 is a future project. Perhaps I will take Bismarck Zwei there. She has this black hole effect that pulls enemies towards it, which is really nice. The problem is I can also see that only those enemies that are moving freely, if I recall, or did the other ships were affected by it? I think so. Now, if you have like Mecklenburg with the Bismarck Zwei, and you can see a bunch of medium armored enemies over there, either Mecklenburg and Tirpitz can just easily obliterate the enemies in that black hole with ease. Now it is fine that she also increases the anti-air by 15%. But I have the feeling that AA stat and how it works is... It works simply, but the more I look into it, it's a real mess. But that's my personal opinion about anti-air guns. That's why I am not very confident about the Iron Blood's AA efficiencies, even with full Iron Blood fleet. Now, if you have Bismarck Zwei, congratulations, you have the best battleship, well, one of the best battleships the Iron Blood has to offer. I think there was a rerun one point. Yes, June 19th, 2025. That lasted 6 days. It will be some time when she is available, like some other ships. Now, Confluence of Nothingness actually demonstrate Bismarck Zwei's power in a lore. But actually you can pull out more too in the main campaign. Operation Siren. I sometimes tend to forget the Operation Siren every time I want to do review videos. Bismarck Zwei absolutely is great over there. If you have like every ship or 3 out of 4 Iron Claw ships, and you have Bismarck Zwei. Hallelujah! That's gonna be good. Really nice buffs here and there. And the Ironblood carrier really appreciates Bismarck Zwei's support. Even though he is not in the other side of the map. Now then, it all depends what type of equipment, how she performs. It all depends what type of equipment you have. And let's not forget the opponent. Some say that Bismarck Zwei is good dealing with medium and light armor enemies. Well, I think otherwise. She is good against both light, medium and heavy. It all depends on what type of fleet you wanna build around it. And the armament, of course. Do you have AP or HE? If you want to focus on light armor enemies, HE is a good go. If you want to focus on medium armor enemies, then AP variation of the main gun is necessary. But thanks to the beams, thanks to the other ships' support, they are taking down enemies here and they're really decently good speed. But that's, as I mentioned before, depends on what type of fleet you have with Bismarck Zwei. She also works in exercises as well. But it's just that boring PvP meta, you know. But hey, PvP is just PvP. The exercises, it's just exercises. So of course there's gonna be a really interesting meta combinations. Bismarck Zwei might struggle in exercises, I confess. But that's the other new world. Now she is also good in the war archives if you want to just obliterate low level enemies over there. I'm not sure about the challenges, monthly challenges, but you can try. And that also depends on what type of enemy you have. Well, Bismarck Zwei is only available somewhere in the future, again. Perhaps he's going to be added, just like the other ultra rare ships, to the main build. You just have to build 400 times to actually get the ship. Somewhere in the future, perhaps Bismarck Zwei is available for everyone. But now, I say she's a really good addition to the Ironblood fleet, giving the good boost to performance to all Ironblood members, and giving you more options how you want to build your Ironblood fleet. I'm very proud of the outcome, even in store-wise and the decisions they made with the Bismarck Zwei. She's really well made. I'm gonna end this review right here. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Take care.
見たか。